Hey, Jarek here, and this is his Nerf Aliens Pulse Rifle. So, you pre-ordered this a good year ago?
Yeah, last year around this time, early October, and I'm not sure, but pre-orders are definitely not available anymore, and I'm not even sure if they're going to do the Mandalorian rifle thing of making a cheaper version later. I don't think they might, so if you're just hearing about this gun now, sorry you're a bit late to the party.
How much did you pay for this?
It was around 98 bucks.
Okay, so I would expect this at some point to show up like on Amazon or in stores for roughly $100, $90, $100, somewhere around there.
Or plus if you encounter scalpers.
You will. That's an inevitability of life. So recently Nerf has been getting into sort of like brand name stuff, like the Aliens Pulse Rifle that you just got, or the Halo rifles that they have been putting out a while ago. This one does not have the advantage that one does, and by that I mean that one's fully automatic. And there's a bit of like extra added features to it. It's got the ammo counter.
And movie accurate sounds. Don't know if you can really pick it up on this microphone, but yeah, they're there.
What's funny is that this is roughly the same price as that, yet that has a lot more just like fun, friendly features added on.
And two guns, technically.
This is a faithful Halo assault rifle, don't get me wrong. I do like it, it is comfortable. However, there's a little more in the box when it comes to that one. In fact, just the box itself is really neat looking. I'm gonna lay over some footage of that. Then of course, as we mentioned, it has the ammo counter and it has sound effects. This uses, what, 6 C-cell batteries, was it?
4 C-cells.
4 C-cell batteries.
They go right here.
And that powers the ammo counter, that powers the sound effects. It's always on. However, if you insert the magazine and just leave it there for a while, the ammo counter will eventually turn off to save your batteries. The one thing I will say about the looks of this blaster is that it's almost cursed to have all this cool alien stuff, like the Weyland-Yutani logo down here on the base plate of the magazine, and then you have an actual Nerf logo just sitting on the gun, and it's cursed in a way that I just have to giggle at it. It's like seeing the Halo Nerf models like in Halo Infinite. It's that level of just amusing. As for the ammo counter, this is fully adjustable. You have a button here that can dial it down, and if you hold the button down, you can start going down 10 at a time.
5 at a time.
5 at a time, whatever. More than just one, it'll take less time. So basically this means you can make this accurate. If you set it to 10, which is how much this magazine holds, you have an accurate ammo counter, and that's really neat. But the ammo counter does go up to 99, but while we're here, let's talk about these magazines. I'm pretty confident in saying that this magazine is not going to work in other guns, and other magazines won't work in this one without some extra modification. It doesn't lock in through a little notch in the back of the magazine, it locks in on top of this little side notch here. But that's kind of a secondary issue because most mags don't even fit in this mag well, which is a little bit of a shame. I think it would actually be really cool if you could fit like a full-on drum mag in here, but you just can't. And from here, I guess we'll talk about the actual performance. When I chronoed it, if I remember correctly, pretty much all the darts were in the 60s.
Around low to mid 60s on average.
Which is okay. I mean, it's a Nerf product. I wouldn't expect it to be shooting much harder than that.
Standard
and it does,
flywheels with C batteries.
Yeah, and it shoots a full-length dart, so that's fine. You know, again, it's acceptable performance for a Nerf blaster. Let's be real. You're not going to be winning any of the games you go to if you bring this to it, but you will be the coolest guy there, just without a doubt.
Little Timmy will want his parents to buy him for Christmas, but sorry Timmy, you should have ordered it last year. I don't know.
I sense you're a little bitter about waiting a full year to get it.
Yeah. yeah, it is. But I'm just glad they didn't do the same thing as the Mandalorian rifle, where they delayed it for years, and then eventually they sent them out, and then they made a cheaper one a month later that was the exact same. Can I swear on this?
Yeah, I don't care.
Thing, but without the sounds. And the colors are just better. So I really am glad they didn't do that with this. I mean, hey, if they make a cheaper one, by all means, get it if you like aliens. I'm a big fan of aliens, I love it. That's why I got this, but waiting for a full year, I'd say it was fully worth it. And I'm glad they actually were prepared this time.
All I will say is that during that entire year, I mean, he was talking about it constantly saying it's only like a couple months away, and I'm sitting there and I know he's just dying waiting for it. So I'm like, all right, you only got 3 months and 1 day until it's coming out. Are you getting more excited?
Oh, was that not obvious enough?
Oh, I forgot. We almost forgot to mention. So like, the regular flywheeler is just a flywheel. You know, it's got a rep trigger. It works like you would expect, but it's got this pump action up front, and this shoots mega darts. Just one at a time. The sound effects are entirely tied to the trigger. It doesn't have to be cocked. You can just spam this if you really want to. You're gonna be doing that all day just sitting at home.
Yeah, that's what I do at home.
It's also probably important to mention that this is obviously just a springer on the bottom. It's not like an
air bladder.
Something about this is a first for me. I've not seen this. When it comes to mega darts, the default mega darts are notoriously just inaccurate and in general not very good. They are fun because they whistle through the air, but AccuStrike darts are generally the ones you want to use. However, in this, it's kind of a toss-up because the FPS is so low with this underslung mega launcher. When we chronoed it, the AccuStrike darts that this comes with was like in the 20s. I think it was like upper 20s, generally 27 on average, somewhere around there.
Yeah, and when you shot the regular ones, it went up to like 35, which is a significant improvement, but not as accurate.
It was, chronoing the regular mega darts were low 30s. We got a high at, I think, around 35. So it does shoot a little bit harder. And to be honest, at FPSs this low, accuracy kind of doesn't matter between the darts. They're both equally inaccurate. You're going to have to be lobbing them at the target. Unfortunately though, since it shoots so slow, the regular mega darts don't whistle through the air with this thing. One kind of really big downside that we came across is while I was shooting it, I found out that this thing is kind of really picky when it comes to shooting. It didn't really seem to matter what darts I was using. The regular Nerf darts and Wafflehead darts did the same thing. It would occasionally stutter in their shots, where about halfway through the magazine, 3/4 of the way through the magazine, it would shoot a few empty blanks and then keep shooting. Or it would just straight up jam on the first shot. Literally first shot. So this is definitely picky, and I'm kind of starting to understand why they didn't make this one full auto, although I get the suspicion that's just more because there's no space to put a full auto pusher in the back here. To be honest, you're not really buying this for performance anyway, but it would be really nice if it didn't jam seemingly for no reason or stutter step while it's trying to shoot, so that's definitely a big downside. Or possibly, we could just be unlucky, it could just be this magazine. It's hard to really say. We only have one here to test. So actual functionality of this, it's a little awkward just because this was never really made to be an incredibly comfortable gun. It was made to be cool, and I find when I'm holding it, I generally don't want to hold the pump itself, I want to hold just in front of it. But, I mean, it works like you would expect. There's nothing crazy, there's nothing wild about it. It's a pulse rifle. It doesn't function like, it's not a high-performing blaster, but you don't really expect it to be. The bottom line is, if you want a pulse rifle, there is now a pulse rifle you can buy, or maybe sometime in the future. Yeah. They're hard to get. But at this point, we're starting to ramble. I recorded this getting shot quite a bit, so let's just roll the footage of me shooting it.